Everybody's here. They're waiting for me.
What are you doing over there?
Do you have any time?
Oh, I'm doing it's a promo video for my, yeah, it's for my old high school. Yeah, it is a day of life. That's exactly what it is. I'm Marketa Lucas, and thank you for joining me for a day in the life. I am the sous chef here at Buho. It is located within inside the Grand Bohemian Hotel. Currently, I work downstairs at Miko, which is a full-service restaurant. Think Brazilian steakhouse with a South American touch. It's really cool. It's a lot of fresh flavors, and I think it's really good for Charlotte right now. I don't want to say too much about the menu. It's like a surprise. A typical day for me starts by, I always try to get myself in the mindset that I need to be at work an hour early. Because if I think that way, to me, I'll be here 30 minutes early, which really ends up being 20 minutes early, which sometimes ends up being 10 minutes early.
No stops? That never happens.
There's always time to A, find parking, B, get from the parking garage to the hotel, and then C, get on an elevator that'll actually get you here on time. Because being on time means that, I'm in my uniform, my car's parked, I'm in the kitchen ready to go. And I can't really tell my staff to do that if I'm not doing that. 10 minutes early is on time. 30 minutes early is really on time.
Hey, Marketa! Hey there! How you doing?
Hey, how are you? We'll talk later. And then I get right into prep. I dive into the prep list. I look in the walk-in, see what we're running low on. I'll check on the guys online for lunch because I primarily supervise the dinner shift. I do a lot of the meat and seafood fabrication, getting all the different proteins cut and ready to go. I have a heavy prep load after I get set up and come in, and then I figure out what I want to do for a special. Sometimes we'll have red drum, sometimes we'll have flounder, anything that's caught locally and that's different. So it's really cool because I get to come up with a new dish every day, either myself or my chef de cuisine. They're so slippery. So this is everything I was measuring out earlier, mixed up together. Currently at nighttime, I'm working the grill station because we are understaffed. We're still hiring for a grill position. So that's pretty much what my day entails. Working the station, doing the prep, and then I am also responsible for closing down the kitchen, making sure all the equipment is shut off, making the prep list for the next day, making sure everything's nice and clean, tidied up, labeled, dated, and refrigerated. Oh, the favorite part of the day, right? Like when everyone's set up for service, everyone is ready to go, and we get our first good push. So like a first good push in restaurant terms is like when 10 or 12 tables that order all at once, and everyone's just like in their moment, doing their thing, plating up. It's kind of quiet, but there's a little bit of background noise. All right, so I think this is for table 8, right? Avocado toast going with a dip and a brunch steak and rare. The dishes clanking and the plates swooshing and just everything being plated up, it's kind of like a symphony in my mind, and I just love it. And I think that's why I love what I do, because, it kind of translates to this like type of musical to me, in my mind. I love musicals. So, I feel like the restaurant life on the line is like one big musical, Everybody's got their role, and if everyone plays it well, it's gonna be a good show. So, I've had a lot of hard days, but I think how I best bounce back from a hard day in the kitchen is, you know, going home, getting some good sleep. I'll vent about it to my husband because, you know, even though he doesn't really know a lot about restaurant life, he knows a lot about cooking. He's a very great home cook. He cooks a lot. Letting all your frustrations out to someone who has nothing to do with it, you know, it's just a good way to cleanse your soul and cleanse, you know, get all that negativity out. Because one, you don't want to talk about it with, you know, the people here. You know, you don't want to create like a toxic environment, especially if you're talking about someone else, and then that leads to a whole lot of drama.
They're like, this old lady? We all like each other for the most part. Right. Good.
And if it was a mistake I made on my part, you know, I'll definitely acknowledge it, you know, in front of everyone, be like, oh, sorry about that last night, or, you know, we're gonna rock this out today, something like that, just to create like a positive atmosphere. I think one thing you should be surprised to know about the life of a chef is that, you know, we don't really eat that much because, you know, we're always like having little bites or samples of things in the kitchen, but, you know, we never really sit down to have a full meal in the day. You know, sad to say, I haven't even had breakfast yet. I haven't had any meals today yet because you're always around the food. So your mind never thinks you're like actually really hungry until it's like 11 o'clock at night. And you're like, oh my God, I'm starving, you know? So I just bought my first house last year. Before I had my house, my hobby used to be like shopping, but now I'm like an interior designer. It's so crazy. The curtains and the pillows and the candles, that's like my jam. Like I love, love, love that. My house is so like, it looks like Better Homes and Gardens because I've just really taken my time to really like map it out. And it's really become a big hobby of mine, actually. A lot of DIY projects because it's my first house. So I'm just so in love with it, like being my own, that I'm just taking so much time to make it my own, and it's never finished. It's always something going on. I'm Marketa Lucas, and thank you again for joining me in A Day in the Life.
You're not smiling. Maybe I am. You'll never know.
In the life. Oh, I messed up. Oh, I'm done. Okay, here we go.